Good morning, everyone. My bit of the presentation is done with Sammy. I'm Daniel. I'm a research assistant at Sussex Partnership, and I'll pass to Sammy shortly, who is an expert by experience at Bemix. But essentially, what we were doing is working together, collaborating to develop guidance, get an idea of what people with learning disabilities think are the barriers that stop them accessing or being involved in research. So what we did were a series of free sessions. Free sessions over 3 weeks from the 19th of October to the 2nd of November. We structured these. So the first session was a introduction to the project, why we're doing this project, why we want to develop guidance, what are the sort of different statistics or risks for people for people with learning disabilities, and what stops them from getting involved in research. So the first one was just to get everyone familiar with why we're doing this research, what research even is, who am I, what is Sussex Partnership, and get an idea of how the people with learning disabilities would want to be involved in this project, how they would like it to run, and yeah, that's essentially what we did in the first session. So there was a group of 6 or so people from Bemix with learning disabilities, and going on to the second session, that's when we actually started speaking together in a group about what the barriers are, what stops them from getting involved in research, and how to overcome the research journey. And then in the third session, we did an overall recap of everything that we discussed, and a reflection on the sessions, which was again something that the group wanted to do, which was decided from the first time that we met in the first session. So the way we structured our discussions was around the research journey, the process of research. So first, priority setting. Essentially, we asked a question around what is the most important thing for you. What should we research? What are your priorities? And then again, asking a question around study design. How should we be designing studies? What are the things that stop you from being able to design a study? And then third, the results sharing. So going from, okay, what should we research? How should we research it? And then how should we share what we find? And of course, within the research journey, it involves many different people that are in this room now, this online room. Involving different people, patients, public funders, all these people that feed into what we do for research. So in answering those different stages of the research process, we asked 3 questions. First question was, what's the most important thing to research for people with learning disabilities? And the responses that we got, the discussions that we had, we collected all of that information and arranged them into themes. So for this question, the most important thing for us to research, the common themes that came up from the group, from the Bemix group, was quality of life. Are people living a life that they want to live? The measures of how long people are living, because in the introduction we spoke about how there is an inequality in the life expectancy of people with learning disabilities. Public services and systems, the use of bus services, emergency services, all the housing as well. These are things that came up as being important things to research. Received care, the type of care that people receive, how it's managed, who's doing it, what training they have. So fourth, improving research practice, improving practice in general, training and things that feed into these different processes. Fifth was funding. Who's getting funding? Why are they getting funding? Well, how much funding is available? That's another thing that came up in our discussions. And policy and law. Our discussions went into the wider sort of structural or wider issues that can stop people from getting involved in research. And this was identified as something that's important for us to explore. Another thing was the second question was how to make decisions on what research studies should look like. So, of course, the importance of involving experts by experience, understanding them as the target population, being able to develop that relationship, having a direct involvement in research design in each stage of the research process. So there's so many decisions that need to be made, and often as researchers, we take these decisions on ourselves. We have so much experience, but of course, by bringing in experts by experience, they have experience in ways that we do not have. So direct involvement and providing appropriate amount of time, something that was reoccurring, kept on being mentioned, was the need for enough time or more time to take in information. So the last question we found and the themes was how to share information that's found in a study. And this is involvement in the creative decisions, being able to choose what is shared, the content, and how that is shared as well. So the content, how it's shared. Vivi was speaking about the use of easy read documents, and further on we'll show examples of how this actually played out in promoting this event in particular. So I think at this point I'll pass to Sammy for the key messages, the broad key messages that we gathered from the Bemix session. So Sammy, do you wanna go ahead?
Our key messages were to be person centered, to like involve, make sure it's like developed around the person, to build an understanding with the people you want to involve, use a co-produced approach, consider varying capacities, include extra time formats in communications, contribute to wider change, enable training for those in public services. So we designed a flyer for this event, which basically involves what, who, how, and why.
Yeah, so just jumping back in again, a lot of the recommendations that were put forward from the group were fed directly into how we designed this flyer. So like, Sammy will know the importance of using of font. We chose Comic Sans. We know that Comic Sans is often there's lots of things said about Comic Sans, but it's found to be something that's more inviting, and the size of the font, so being at least 14. And of course, on the left is the general flyer, and on the right side is the easy read version that we also use to promote this event. And yeah, so we'll make these slides available afterwards as well, just to go over the main sort of key messages. But I think at this point I should pass to Artie and Ellie. So thank you for listening, and we'll look forward to the discussions in the breakout room.